Hello, welcome everybody. I see Mary on there. Hey, Mary. Mary too. uh, Heels Plum's on there. Good. And Kristen, welcome guys. My name is Eddie Hill with Prosperous Internet Marketing. If I haven't met you yet, I'm the new guy, I guess. So for QIC, we're one of the newer members and sponsors. We were at the power meeting. It was awesome to get to meet a lot of you guys, and I love this industry. Um, I've been doing this industry for over 15 years. It's my favorite niche. We work with a bunch of niches, but I truly enjoy it. So I have a lot of you guys as customers, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Hats off to you. And I've had a lot of people asking me, "Hey, what's going on? What should we do? What should we do?" And I just figured I'd do a quick webinar. And yes, I'm recording this because I want to send it out to all of our clients and everybody else too. Just I promise you, this is going to be fairly quick, hard hitting, and I'll stay as long as you want. I'm just going to get through the basics of what needs to be said and what needs to be done, and then after that, I'll be glad to answer questions. But so we got some good things. I'm going to wait another minute or two here, let some people on. I guess if you don't mind, I mean, because I actually I'm not a statistician. I love statistics. It's my favorite class in college, but I am a very much a numbers guy. Stats, all kinds of, and I've been researching the stats on a lot of this stuff online wise. And so if you guys don't mind, if you can put in the chat just where you're located, just so I can understand, because it is different on the West Coast versus East Coast. Not dramatically, but it's definitely different, and things are happening. And so I'm watching it kind of flow and see what's going on. So we got Macon, Georgia. Cool, awesome. Anybody else? Seattle. Thank you. Yeah, I love the Mary in Seattle. They're one of my favorite clients. They're a lot of fun. Maryland, cool. Okay, so that's definitely a completely different part of the market. So, any other locations? Cool. Okay. So I got a lot of things going on here. So I just want to, well, we got about a minute here. I'm gonna get into this. Yeah, it's almost 11 o'clock. I like to be punctual. So. Good. I'm gonna put the I might as well put it into the queue list. I'm getting to know this queue list. I love it. I definitely don't want to annoy you, but I watch. I mean, I'm like you guys. I'm everybody's saying, I got 20 some employees, and we're looking at the PPP. We already filled it all out, and we actually have a couple local grants. Actual grant. I like the word grant better than loan, by the way, and you probably do too. But anyway, we are looking at a couple local things from our. One is from Gulf Power, which is our local power company. They gave $250,000 for local businesses like ours, which is $5,000 each grant, and I think we'll be getting that. That's cool because not that that's free money. I mean, it'll go towards whatever, but I prefer that. And I know I see everybody's talking about it in the queue list, talking about the the PPP and all the other different stuff. So thank you very much for a lot of people, you're pretty knowledgeable, but that's I'd rather headbutt a porcupine than deal with that stuff. I have a business partner, he does all the payroll and the accounting and whatever. I want nothing to do with that. I'd rather light my armpit hairs on fire. I'd rather lick the underbelly of a horny toad. I'd rather take a 90-mile-an-hour fastball to my shin. All right, you get the point. So let me do the cue list here. I'm going to say webinar starting. Okay, and then we're good. I don't want to annoy anybody else. Now, webinar starting now. Okay, I sent it, so the queue list should have it. So cool. We got about a dozen or so people on here. Like I said, if you stick around, this should only be 20, 30 minutes most. I mean, I kind of get winded a little bit, but at the end, I'll be glad to talk about specifically to your market specifically. Is that cool? So thumbs up on that. All right, so looks good. So I'm gonna share my screen, and we'll just start this here. Well, we gotta get the wrong thing. All right. So let me do this. Man, let me go back. Let's all right, let me move this over here so I can see everything. Sorry, the Zoom guys. Okay. Now we go. Now I'm cooking with grease. Sorry. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen, and I need a give me a chat, either a thumbs up or if you want to say. Okay, good. See my screen? Yep. Okay. Yep. Say yes. Frank, can you see my screen too? Yeah. Okay. This is what we're going to talk about today. So this is going to go kind of fast. And these are very specific things that directly affect you if you're doing some of these things in marketing. So I don't know anything about plumbing. I really don't know a whole lot. I mean, you guys talk about a lot of things, but what I do know about is online marketing. And I try to stay up to date as much as I can. There's all kinds of weird, freaky things going on right now, good and bad in your industry, in our industry. And so I want to tell you about what you should do. And I call it pivoting. You know, that's like what is it, the Friends show where they're carrying the couch and Ross is saying, you know, pivot, like that's the new buzzword is pivoting, but it does make sense. So meaning we got to change a little bit. I would never use the word pull back. I would say pivot, and meaning we're over here, we need to go over here. So let's talk about these specific, 4 or 5 areas that we need to actually pivot for now. Okay. Let me do this. Okay. All right. So I got to start with this. You guys know that I'm not a motivational speaker, but this is how I think. So I believe there's 4 circles to success, whatever, and you have to have all 4 to be successful, especially during tumultuous times, which we're in. So let's talk about this real quick. Mindset. So mindset is one of the 4 circles to be successful, especially now. So attitude, beliefs, and thoughts. And so I talk to dozens and dozens of clients every day, and I love it. And some are absolutely amazing. Their mindset's really like they're amazing. They're pushing ahead. They're the lighthouse. They're like, hey, we gotta be positive for our employees. We gotta move ahead. We gotta know that this too shall pass, and we need to do these things. And trust me, I've been both sides of this. I've curled up in the fetal position crying and then moving ahead. I mean, I get it because some of my clients are hurting really bad. Some of them are moving ahead. It's amazing. They're taking crazy amount of market share. I'm going to show you some stats here in a second. So to me, I'm like, why is that? So part of that, and I would give a huge chunk of that, is mindset, right? So some people believe refuse to sit back on their heels. They're actually moving forward. Which I totally want to help you and maybe motivate you to do some of this. And that's why I want to help with statistics and specifics of what you can do. So part of that is mindset. When you see other people are doing this and they're moving ahead, you're like, well, we can do that in our market. We can pivot and move ahead and gain this market share, which is what I'm going to talk about a lot. So part 2, the second circle is skill set. So I'm not going to go into this at all. Skills, I mean, there's no doubt you have the skills, but I'm going to talk today about specific skills for online marketing. Okay, this is competencies, right? Your techniques and training. So we have to pivot the skills. The things we used to do that worked, some still work, but some don't. So those are abilities. The third circle is tool sets, which I'm going to teach you a couple secrets inside. Things. There's no reason to take the long route or have a learning curve how to do some of this stuff. So I'm just going to tell you directly what you could and should do. In fact, I'll even help you. I'll help you do some of this. But tool sets, which is hardware, software, or standing operating procedures. We're talking specifically online marketing. Okay, and then the last one is get off your asset. This is take action. So again, you can't sit there, and just say, what, it is what it is, and take it as it comes. You need to adjust, adapt, improvise. You need Marines out there, overcome, and of course we have to pivot. So. But to me, the critical circle of this is mindset. Because when I talk to people, I get it. Now, let me just say this. I'm not going to preach to anybody, but there's scripture says, "Be anxious for nothing, but through prayer and supplication." Right. So, and it goes on, and I can honestly say that like anxiety is not something that was in my vocabulary, and it just. I don't get me wrong, I have issues, but I just put my head down and go. Well, in this case, At first, this is a month ago, I felt like, and I'm just being brutally honest, so I hope some of you guys can relate, but because it wasn't in my circle of influence. This isn't something I can change. And so I was like, there's nothing I can do about this, is what I really thought. So I had this anxiety because it was just like, I'm stuck. Where, the 2008, setbacks, I was in business and moving and, those kind of things. I just pivoted then and I moved ahead because I could. And that nobody's telling me to shut down. Nobody's telling me to stop, or, stay home or whatever. And then, and commerce was stopping. So this was just a different scenario. But then, of course, like you guys, I have many mentors and people that I follow, and I just got my head, into some of this training and people talking about, hey, we're pivoting and we're doing this, and it's working. I'm like, whoa. So then I got this new, I got this new energy in me, and I'm like, wait a minute. Well, some people are being highly successful right now during this. How are they doing that? So me being a research guy, I started researching what they're doing, and some of them are taking massive market share, and they're being aggressive and moving forward and doing, doing these things. So it's mindset, but it's get off your asset, man. They're kicking butt because they're moving. And I just think a big part of this is just moving, doing, and then of course the mindset. So okay, enough preaching, jumping up and down. I hope you guys get what I'm saying here, because what I'm going to tell you is not contrarian, but it's maybe a little different than what you've been doing. So let's talk specifics now. That's kind of 30,000 foot. Let's get into the trenches and talk specifics. So success, to me, you have to have all four of those. If you're missing one, it'll be out of alignment and you won't have true success. So during this time, we need to put all four of these things together. So I need to talk specifics in pay-per-click. I know that a lot of you guys are doing pay-per-click, and some of you guys are not. So I'm just going to go through this, and if you have extra questions at the end, then please stay on. I'll be glad to talk to you. All right. Screenshots. Everybody loves screenshots. So I went through about 30 of our plumbing clients, and on the West Coast, East Coast, Florida, in North, South. And now there's anomalies, but in general, here's what's happening. And so I know it's hard to read all these numbers, but what I did is I took this month, the last 30 days, and then I compared it to the 30 days before that. And if you're looking at what's happening here, drain services, the cost per click costs are actually down pretty dramatically across the board. Interesting, isn't it? However, plumbers, the generic terms plumbers, plumbing, are up like crazy numbers, 55% in some cases. This one down here is up 10%. And when, I said I went through about 30 of these, 25, 30 of these, and it's in general, most of them are true to this. What does that mean to you? So to me, I think you know this, but Google is an auction, right? And so if you've ever been to a live auction, actually, I enjoy live auctions. I go to a couple every year. But there's always some moron, usually he's in the front seat. There's always some moron bidding way too high for something that is not worth it, right? If you understand how auctions work. And then vice versa, auctions are great because on the other end of that, there's always things that are valued much higher than what they're going for. And so you can bid on and get that at a good value. So, that's why auto auctions, if you've ever been to those, it's great. Some of them, the Toyotas and stuff go through, they're way higher than they should go. And then these other ones, not going to mention any brands, but they go way lower and they get a much better deal for value. So, Google works the same way. There's morons, and I mean this in the nicest possible way, bidding way too high for these very broad keyword terms. So in my mind, they can have it, go away. Like you need to pause that. And this is what we're doing for our clients. We're pausing specific keywords that are dramatically increasing in price. Some of them 100%, 200%. So it's just a pause, and we're watching it and looking at it. And let them have it. They can go have that all day long, and vice versa. I'm taking that money and I'm shifting it to the things that are cheaper now and better calls anyway. Now, again, I don't know plumbing. I just know when I talk to my clients, they're like, we want drain services right now. And a lot of them don't want to go in the house. So they'll take the hot water heater, calls, but you have to go in the house to do that. So, the drain calls and those kind of things, you can stay out. Anyway, and a lot of our clients just, they'll take any call. It doesn't matter. But we'll talk about that in a second here. But what I'm saying is you may want to pivot and you may want to pause some of these broad keyword terms and go after the ones that are way down. Now, honestly, I looked at emergency, which this shows you that stats will prove you wrong every time if you really look at them. I thought emergency would go way up. We do emergency plumbing for all of our clients, and a lot of times emergency plumbing, what we do is we'll do like 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. and we'll only run the ads during the time. And the actual ad will say emergency plumber 24/7 call now. And I really thought those ads costs will go up, and across the board in general, again, and I can look at your market, it's going down. And I don't know exactly why. I think that because a lot of people are pulling out of the nights and overnights, and that's probably why. So, but if you want those calls right now, I mean, you're getting 20, 30, 10 to 50% discount on some of those calls. So something to look at. All right, I kind of drug on a little too much. I just want you to understand that this is changing, and we're seeing this across the board. Google guarantee. I'm just throwing this one in there real quick. If you guys are not doing so I told you some of our clients are not, they don't want to go in the house right now. So they're just doing specific, things that like emergency things, like plumbing clogs, whatever. They're not doing like garbage disposal, repair, whatever. If that's the case for you, you need to shut these off, because on the local service ads or Google guaranteed ads, they'll still charge you for them. If you're not taking them and you try to market as not a lead, they're going to charge you for them because you have that turned on as it is a lead for you. So make sure you go into your account. This is really easy to do, and just make sure you shut off the ones. Right now, I know things are shifting a little bit. Just shut off the ones that you're not doing. So, and I think I told a lot of you guys the word other is very broad, and to me, other can include several, things that you may not do. So it's not. I strongly, unless you do everything, I would shut off the word other. So. I always forget this. This is horrible. You guys are making fun of me because I'm not a plumber. But what's it called when you come out to a business and you check their drains, whatever, something check, and a lot of you guys don't do it. But it's commercial has to do it every year. We have to get these. Oh God. Anyway, so that's under other, just to let you know. And so if you don't do that, you need to turn that off. Okay, that's horrible. I forget. My brain hurts right now. Okay, so let's talk a second for SEO, and I only got a couple more things here, and we'll get into this. So SEO is near and dear to my heart. This is I teach all over the nation, and actually I'm teaching a bunch of webinars right now. I just taught one Monday, and I have another one again tomorrow. But so the changes on SEO are incredible right now. To me, this is a good pathway. Let me just say, I'm just going to say this bluntly. People are pulling back dramatically because SEO or search engine optimization is mathematical, right? It's an algorithm. They're pulling back. It's easier to overtake them because of the math, right? So I would strongly recommend you be the lighthouse and you overtake them with things that you're doing. You could build authority much easier than you could a month ago, even 2 months ago. And we're seeing incredible results right now from some of our clients. Couple reasons. One, we're moving ahead, and other clients either are staying the same, so or they're not doing anything, which means you're going backwards. So SEO is, I call it the muddy mountain: 2 steps forward, 1 step back. You stop building authority. In other words, you stop producing content. So you stop updating, off-site things, and then you slowly go backwards. Let me give you a simple example. So if you post a video and it links back to your website, that boosts your website a little bit with authority. If you post, which one of my favorite things is press releases, which we'll talk about here in a second. If you post a press release, 2 months ago, and now it's old news, that authority just goes away after a while. It's like 30, 45, 60 days is the max that authority will ever boost your website for a press release, because it's news, and old news is old news. So your authority starts sliding down. Well, a lot of these competitors, especially these larger markets, are stopping right now, and so that authority that they built, they continue to build over time, just starts dwindling and going away. So the apples, if you start growing and they're dwindling, it really that transfer of authority can happen pretty quickly. And we're seeing this. So backflow. Love you, Chad. Thank you, buddy. Golly, that's horrible. Backflow test. That's embarrassing. All right. So, okay, I hope you understand this SEO thing. So I'm saying being the lighthouse, there's two things you can do with it. And I'm going to talk about be the lighthouse, meaning for people, human beings, but I also want you to be the lighthouse for Google, giving them some structure and some things so that they'll give you the authority. They're begging for content, especially relevant content to things that are happening right now. I promise you, and I'll show you some of this. So you have an opportunity to take massive market share right now just by doing basic SEO things. And I'll be specific here in a second. But so I know some are thinking about pulling back. There's things you can do. It's free. It just takes your time. And so I know some of you guys are really busy and don't have a lot of time, but some of you guys have more time on your hand, or some of your employees have more time. This is the time to start doing some of this stuff. Okay, so let me go live here. I need to go to some of these things that are happening right now. So you guys know that these things are happening every day. There's like 5 or 10 new, these are press articles. This is Orlando, that are talking about, you guys know about this better than I do, the backups and, sewer lines and toilets, people flushing things. Well, what's happening is they need a quote. Flushable wipes are truly not flushable, says Jim Bunsley, operator of the Northeast Sewer District. This needs to be you, and I'm going to tell you how to do this real quick. You need to be the expert in your market. Every market has it. So, in your market, you could be getting with your local public relations or your local media and giving them this kind of content, right? So they're begging for this kind of content. Things that, trust me, I mean, yes, they want to talk about the coronavirus or the Rona, as we say in the South, but you want to spend it towards obviously plumbing, and that it's a unique angle that they may not have talked about. So here's a different one. And so this one here, flush baby wipes, big problem for all of us in the outbreak. You guys can basically say the same things, right? You already know all this. You're dealing with it right now. You can say, yes, we're seeing a lot of new cases for some of this. You want to be the local expert that they go to and interview. So I know that several plumbers, and I don't want to call them out, but have called and gotten a hold of their local media, and the local media will come out, like the newspaper or the local TV station will actually interview them about this kind of stuff. So it is very newsworthy, and you need to be the one that's front and center, not your competitors on this. So let me finish on this. So we sent one out. This is one of our clients. You guys know I don't think they're on this call. But Williams Plumbing, very large plumber in Bozeman, and we sent out a press release. This got picked up. Now we sent it to the Associated Press, so we did not send it to the local media because we just don't have the contacts built up there yet, and he didn't need anything that I know of. But you should be sending stuff like this to your local context as well as the Associated Press. And so this got sent out. As you see, we're tying in the COVID-19 outbreak stuff with safety procedures, and you're going to go, wow, that's kind of interesting. So we are making sure that they are the experts in this field in their market, and there's no doubt Google's seeing this too, right? So Google's picking up on these keywords. They're tying in Bozeman plumber, the health procedures in for plumbing, HVAC, construction, amid the COVID-19. Do you see how that's working together? So we've only sent out this one. This is like a few weeks, or when was this? Like I don't know what day we did. We only did this like a week or two ago. But anyway, we're tying it back to their website. We're tying it back to these keywords, and now they're becoming the local expert. This is in Google's eyes, right? So we're just doing this for Google's eyes. So then this goes to Associated Press, and guess what happens? The local media, they have Associated Press comes through all the time, and they're looking at press releases. And if it's relevant, they'll go, oh, okay, cool. So the local Bozeman media have a chance to look at this. Now, in this case, as far as I know, they didn't pick this up, but that just means we need to tell them again in a different way. So I would hit it again and then call and get a hold of the local, TV and newspapers to see if they want to pick this up. So we can talk about this. For me, I would go, this is probably more emotional, the drain clog stuff, baby wipes and stuff, than just the basic health safety procedures. You see how it's not as sexy? No offense, we wrote it. We did it, but I would probably do the backups and stuff, because people can totally see how that's relevant right now because more and more people are staying home and more flushes are happening at home than ever. Well, at least in a long time anyway. So it's kind of like the holiday seasons. You guys know that it goes up. Clogs go up during Thanksgiving and Christmas because of this. But so I want you guys to make sure that you're the ones front and center on this. So here's what's cool is we are members of the Associated Press. It costs us a lot of money. You can go to PR Web is one. There's I can't remember. There's a bunch of them out there. So you can go here and pricing. You can send out. Yes, come on. You can send out a press release. Did it go? Yeah. So this is the basic standard one, which I recommend at least the standard, and it'll go out to the Associated Press plus Google, Yahoo, Bing and stuff. It's $189. So I'm going to tell you not to do that because guess what? I'm going to do it for you for free. Here's the problem. There's a caveat. We have 5 writers, and they're all crazy busy because we're doing this for everybody. But if you write it, so you can look at some of these other ones that we've done, and you send it to us, I'll post it for you. So it's free, and we'll post it back, and we'll link everything back to you on that. So one, you get one. But I don't care if you're a client or not. Of course, our clients, we're trying to do these weekly or bi-weekly right now because we're being real aggressive. So anyway, Eddie at prosperousim.com, EDDIE at prosperousim.com. If you know how to spell prosperous, I am as in internet marketing.com. So, okay, cool. So I just want to throw that at you, but it's worth your time and energy to do these press releases and be the front and center of it. And then of course you need to do some legwork on your local media. I would send it also directly to the local media, just so you know, and they may pick it up through the Associated Press. A lot of them do. We've had that many times, but like I said, in this case, they probably have so much coming through that they missed it or it just wasn't relevant at the time, slow news days or whatever it is. But so we'll just do it again and do it again, but then try to do it on the local. Okay, I got to move ahead. All right, so this is the local Google My Business. I need to tell you what's happening in the reviews. So a lot of you guys knew that they shut down the reviews, which was good and bad. It was bad for somebody that had open reviews, especially bad reviews that you couldn't respond to. It was horrible because they were just sitting there, and we couldn't. We respond for our clients, and so we're trying to get in there and respond and get this taken care of. So when they shut down the review stuff, nobody could do anything about a lot of this. The old reviews were still there. However, this just happened the other day, and I honestly can't pinpoint. It was only the last couple days. So they put this up. I get the GMV alerts all the time because we're an agency. But here's what they wrote on reviews. It says review replies are now available again. This just happened the last couple days. Over the coming weeks, new users, new photos, new short names, whatever Q&A will be available. The availability will gradually expand by country and business category. So in our category, in the plumbing category, it's still locked down unless you have the secret like I have. So here it is. So this took me a long time to figure this out. Okay, so I just Googled, this is one of our clients, Mr. Rooter, Panama City, Florida. Okay. So I'm going to walk you through this. This may get technical, but you have to be logged in. Right now, I am logged in. Here's how you can tell. If you Google your name, you should see this. You manage this business profile. You should have a check, right? So if you Google your own name and you don't have that, you're not logged in, or you're not logged into the right account. Sometimes it's a different account or something. So you can see that we're logged in. And what happens is Google gives me this little checklist. And it's asking me for specific things that it wants me to update. I'm telling you right now, update it. So it wants you to do this because it doesn't know who's shut down, who's open. So Google is actually giving huge preferential treatment to people who answer these questions. Are you open on Easter? Yes. So you want to click that. I'm going to tell you right now and see how it's not working. Are you open on Good Friday? Yes. See how it's not working? So you're like, well, what the heck? It wants us to answer these questions, but we can't. So this is the part where it's saying it's slowly coming back, and back here, it's slowly coming back to some business categories and countries. In our case, right now, it's still shut down, unless here's the secret. Okay, you're going to create a post. Watch this. Create a post. Now this is what it looks like. By the way, you can see it blurred out. This is what it looks like if I would have clicked that button and it would have let me in, but it was not letting me in. But now that it says I'm going to create a post, in fact, you should do a post. You definitely do a post. Your post should say, we are still open during COVID-19, and we're taking all the precautionary measures, wearing gloves, cleaning after everything. We won't touch anything. All you guys have amazing stuff, and you already have all this. Just put it in here and create the post, then publish it. Okay. So you want to do the COVID-19 update. Please do yourself a favor in your Google My Business, create that post and put it in there. So I haven't done his. I was going to do this morning. I specifically haven't yet because I was trying to show you guys. So then now guess what? We're in the account. This is the part that they're blocking us. So now you can go into info and you're able to update these specific things. So if your hours have changed, you need to change it. If your services have changed, you need to change what your services have changed are. So remember, we still have limited functionality, but now we're at least in here. And the reason why I bring this up, so those of you guys are jumping up and down and asking me about the reviews, this is the only way we can get in here and respond, because it's blocking us from the front end. So here it's blocking us. You click this edit info. Look, you click that. I'm clicking all over this. It will not let me in. Will not let me in. So you got to do the little backdoor thing. Okay, cool. Hope that serves you a little bit. And I would definitely be responding and stuff and making sure that you're on top of what's going on with your reviews, because that's all coming back now. All right, I kind of dwelled on that a little too much, I think. So what do we got here? We got 120. I'm about right. I'm pretty much done. Let's see. Is there anything else? Oh, my buddy Thomas, I think he was on here. He's going to be. You guys need to do this, and call your web developer, whoever it is. I think he uses Scorpion, which is great. They'll do this for you. We'll do it if you're our client. You need to be saying that we're an essential business. We're open, because when people Google, they're not just like a restaurant. You're not sure they're open. You're like, so there's a lot of people asking hey, are you open? Are you still coming out? And your answer is yes. We're still following the CDC guidelines, and our customers and techs want to keep you healthy and safe. We're still come out. So it doesn't have to be too much more than this, but it has to say somewhere. It could be a pop-up. Some of you guys are doing pop-ups, when they land on your page. Just make sure that you're putting something on there and saying, hey, we're still open. Get it? Got it? Good. Okay. Cool. All right. So that's about it. I hope you guys got something from this. Pivoting. There is some market share to take. We see it happening all the time. I want you guys to be the lighthouse. I want you the ones to be front and center. When people have questions about plumbing, you're in your market, it should be you that they're coming to, especially all the local media. And don't forget that if you want to help me write the press release, I'll help you a little bit. It's got to be in press release format. Just give me the basics, and then we'll put it in format. But I'll be glad to send you out a press release on your behalf to the Associated Press, similar to what this one is. It does all these different services. So, yeah, you can kind of see where it goes. It goes to the journalist list. Goes to online syndication. This is what we do. We syndicate it over 1,200. We don't get picked up in 1,200. We get picked up in, like I said, one of our clients that are in Bozeman. This got picked up by about 200 associated, media, whether it's radio, TV, newspapers, those kind of things. So I'll be glad to do that for you. Okay, what questions do you have? So I'm looking in the chat. Yeah, overwhelmed you. Okay, I got a couple of you saying thank you. Appreciate that. Any other anything that I can help you specifically? Thank you, Mary. Appreciate it. Okay. Well, I guess that's. Is there a way I can get a recording? Yes. Definitely. I'll put it in the queue list. I love the queue list. So I'm gonna as soon as I hit stop, pause. Actually, I'm gonna cut off the front end because I waited like 5 minutes to start. So let me cut off the front end, and then I'll upload it and I'll just send it to the queue list and say here's the replay. So hope this helps you. I hope it serves you. We're here for you. I'm open. I'm open like you guys. So 850-475-4460 or Eddie@prosperousim.com. If my my client, the support desk, we're open. Everybody's going full steam ahead. So support@prosperousim.com. If you want us to update your websites, if you want us to do specific things for you, we'll be glad to do that. I think that's it. Anything else? Frank, you got anything? Love the Beth and Frank. Beth's been awesome too. She's you guys know she's aggressively moving ahead too, and so is Frank. And all these guys are. I love it. I love it. Yes, talk to them because they understand taking market share. Who was it? Lee Iacocca, whatever. I don't know the whole deal with the government bailout, but he took market share by he increased his advertising by almost 200% during the downtimes, whatever, in the 70s, whatever, 80s for Chrysler. So I'm not saying you need to increase your advertising. Please don't pull back. I would pivot it and stop buying the dumb things that people are paying crazy stuff for, pushing ahead and buy the things that are going down. So yeah, good. All right. Well, thank you again for allowing me to serve you. If you need anything else, give me a call, 850-475-4460 or Eddie@prosperousim.com. Thank you guys very much. We'll see you on the virtual lands. Thanks, guys.